Hey guys, welcome back. So I know you're probably looking at this and being like, hey, there's a basil plant, and I think that's mint down here. I think there's mint. Not positive about it, but I'm pretty sure this is mint. Smells like mint, kind of rooting itself like mint. Anyways, you're asking, oh, why do you have a mint and a basil plant and with a tomato cage? Well, the tomato that was in there died, and the basil plants over there dropped seeds in here, and the mint from here made its way into there. So I ended up with some volunteer mint and what did I just call that? Basil. Sorry guys. I just clipped off. It had some flowers that were starting to grow up here, so I just pinched that off at the top. But it was looking a little bit. Sorry, you can get my big old hand in the way. It was looking a little like deficient and looked like it was struggling. I believe this was due to nutrient deficiency and also drought. I wasn't watering. It came up by itself, and I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. And then it turned out to be my only really productive basil, because I had two more basils in this bag here that self-seeded from the other bag over there. And as you can tell, that's not really doing a whole lot, or well, it shouldn't be doing a whole lot. It's starting to flower, so I'm just gonna probably let that do whatever it's gonna do. I do need to do a basil seed harvest there, or maybe we'll get a video of that. But I know Rob Bob's always talking about volunteers and everything. How when they come in, he likes to kind of try to leave them because he ends up with some of the biggest, strongest plants and everything. So I thought I'd take his advice, just let this grow. I can easily just take the cage off of this bag, which is nice. Just pull this out and go put it on another bag or a bucket, and grow me some tomatoes off of this. And then these will just, have, because the basil's a pretty strong, sturdy plant, as you can probably see from over there. It's hard to see. Sorry, the rosemary's dead. My rosemary plant died. I'm so sad. But yeah, so they grow up pretty big and strong, so they don't really need support. So just in case you were wondering if the cage was needed or not, in my case, in this case, no, it's not needed because mine don't grow to be 10 foot tall. So I don't know if basil could grow to be 10 foot tall. That would be something to see. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick volunteer video, just to say, oh yeah, I got some volunteers. They look like they're doing pretty good. They were quite a bit nutrient deficient. As soon as I put on some nutrients in here, the leaves perked up and started growing nice and green and everything. So I'm happy and excited. I have basil again. I mean, I never really lost basil, but it's still, it wasn't growing as prolific as the first one was really prolific, and then it self-seeded, and the problem was I just kind of didn't take care of it. This one's been really neglected. It's had very little water other than the rain that it gets, which is normally not a problem. This if it were in the ground, it'd probably be fine, but it's in the Walmart bag here, and water just doesn't stay in there very well. So I actually I'm gonna try to amend the ways I'm doing things, and I'm gonna start adding coconut coir to the garden soil that I use in the bag. I use garden soil in these bags, and that's probably my problem. If I use potting soil, I'd probably be okay, but I would rather buy the potting soil, which is cheaper, and then add like coconut coir to it. I think the cost works out to be cheaper that way, as far as I could tell with the math that I did really quickly in my head. My biggest problem is I don't know how much coconut coir I'm going to be adding, so the math is still pretty rough, but that's just kind of what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to see if that will retain some more moisture in here, and then I can always supplement nutrients, whatever it would possibly need. Well, while I'm here doing volunteers, I guess I should show the sweet potato has rooted itself here, and it's doing okay. It's not doing great, but it's doing okay. But it's in the rubber mulch here, so I still haven't determined whether that's going to be safe to harvest and eat. Probably not. As far as I can tell, these are old tires. As far as I can tell, and they've been dyed the cedar color. So I don't know how much eating I'll do from here, but this area is normally just it's normally void of plants and that sort of thing. So I'm probably just going to just leave it, let it grow, see what it does. If it gets white flies and disease and that sort of thing, I'll pull it. But this one, it's got a little white fly. At least I think it's white fly on that leaf. Sorry, right here. I'm assuming that's white fly. Might be something else, I don't know. But when I move it around, I don't see little white flies flying around. That's my best description of what white flies look like. This, you know, when you kind of move things, you see little white flies flying around. That's, you know, I guess it could be something else, but generally I just say, oh, that's probably white fly, and just treat accordingly. So, but that's another little volunteer I have. So this volunteer here, I still haven't identified. Coming out of this one here, it goes up. Actually goes through, it's coming from this bag, and it goes up, and I still haven't quite identified it, which is fine by me. It's pretty, it kind of floats around in the breeze, doesn't seem to be hurting anything, and you know, I haven't died from looking at it yet, so I'm probably gonna keep that. So, and that's pretty much it on my little garden update of volunteers that I have running around. So you know, I'm gonna do a little experiment, see how they work out. I think it's just that basil and mint are just kind of really prolific. This is all mint here, so I'm gonna have to clean all this out. Maybe I can get the mint from here back over to there, because that's ultimately, that was my mint bag. Actually, I might not reuse that for mint. I might make that something else, because they always say to rotate the crops and everything, which I would have to re-fertilize anyways. But please, guys, like, subscribe, comment. Sorry this video is a little bit long-winded on volunteers, but I'm happy. Zero work, and you got this. Actually, I did do a little bit of watering, and I did fertilize it, but other than that, you know, this has been pretty much a zero hands-on. Like the last month I started to take care of it, you know, whereas before that, probably 2-3 months, it just kind of grew up on its own and did whatever it was going to do. Might be less than 2 months, 2 or 3 months, but anyways, you get the gist. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.